I didn't remind my cousin to apply for the scholarship we both qualified for, so my cousin Jake and I both got into the same state school last year. We're pretty close. Our moms are sisters, and we basically grew up like brothers since we live like 10 minutes apart. Jake's always been the golden child, though. Straight A's, captain of the soccer team, volunteer at the animal shelter on weekends. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my solid B average and my part-time job at GameStop. Anyway, back in March, our guidance counselor, Mrs. Patterson, mentioned this scholarship called the Regional Academic Excellence Award. It was for students from our county who were going to in-state colleges. The thing was, you needed at least a 3.2 GPA and some community service hours. I barely scraped by with a 3.23 and had done maybe 40 hours helping at my church's food drive. Jake obviously had like a 3.9 and probably 300 volunteer hours. Mrs. Patterson handed me the application and said the deadline was April 15th. She mentioned it was worth $15,000 spread over 4 years. That's not life-changing money, but it would definitely help with textbooks and stuff. I asked if Jake knew about it, and she said she'd told him too, but wasn't sure if he'd picked up his application yet. Here's where it gets messy. That same week, Jake started dating this girl Emma from our chemistry class. I'd had a massive crush on Emma since sophomore year, but never had the guts to ask her out. Jake knew this. We'd talked about it multiple times. I even asked him to put in a good word for me once, and he said he would, but apparently never did. So when I found out they were together, I was pretty hurt. Not gonna lie, I was pissed. Jake didn't even give me a heads up or anything. I just saw them holding hands in the hallway on a Tuesday morning. When I confronted him about it later, he just shrugged and said, "Dude, you never actually made a move, so I figured you were over it." The scholarship application sat on my desk for 2 weeks. Every time I looked at it, I thought about Jake and Emma. I knew I should probably mention it to him since Mrs. Patterson might have forgotten to give him one. But I kept thinking about how he basically swooped in on the girl I liked without even talking to me first. I filled out my application on April 10th. Took me about 3 hours to write the essay about overcoming challenges and contributing to my community. I had to really stretch to make my GameStop job and church volunteering sound impressive. The whole time I kept expecting Jake to text me asking about scholarship stuff or mentioning he was working on applications. He never did. April 15th came and went. I turned mine in online at like 11:47 p.m. because I'm an idiot who procrastinates, but I got it in. Jake never mentioned anything about any scholarships that whole week. He was too busy posting Instagram stories of him and Emma at the movies and getting coffee and whatever. 2 months later in June, I got an email saying I'd won the scholarship, $15,000. I was honestly shocked because I figured Jake would get it for sure if he applied. His grades and extracurriculars were way better than mine. That's when it hit me. He probably never applied. I didn't say anything to anyone at first. My parents were super proud and posted about it on Facebook. My aunt, Jake's mom, commented congratulating me, which was nice, but also made me feel weird. At our graduation party a few days later, Jake's dad asked me about the scholarship and seemed confused when I explained what it was for. "Wait, Jake would have qualified for that too," he said. "Did he not apply?" Jake overheard and came over looking confused. "Apply for what?" I explained the scholarship and watched his face change. He went pale and then got this look like he wanted to throw up. "When was the deadline?" he asked. "April 15th. Dude, why didn't you tell me about this?" I just stared at him. "Mrs. Patterson said she told you. I figured you knew. I never got an application. I don't remember her mentioning it." His parents were looking at me weird now, like they expected me to have some explanation. I felt my stomach drop because I realized how this looked, like I'd kept it secret on purpose. "I thought you knew," I said again. "You never mentioned college stuff to me, so I figured you had it handled." Jake's mom jumped in. "Honey, you know Jake's been so distracted with everything this spring. You should have made sure he knew about something this important." The whole party got awkward after that. Jake didn't talk to me for the rest of the night.